Leo's face was twisted in a grin so wide, it tore the skin at the corners of his mouth. That's how the police found him. Alone. In a room no one remembered building. It all started when Leo Morgan, a 29-year-old graphic designer, moved into apartment 4B of the Hollow Pines complex. It was old, quiet, and surprisingly cheap, a red flag he ignored. The place had character, creaky floors, high ceilings, and faded wallpaper that looked like it hadn't seen a paintbrush in decades. But what caught Leo's attention most was the door at the end of the hallway. It didn't lead to the bathroom. It wasn't a closet. According to the floor plan, it didn't exist. It was small, sealed with a rusted padlock, and cold to the touch. But something about it gnawed at Leo's curiosity. He asked the landlord. "Storage," she said too quickly. "Old junk. Nothing in there for you." But that night, the scratching began. It came from behind the locked door. Soft at first. Like fingernails on wood. Then louder. Angrier. Leo tried to ignore it. But the sound got inside him. Burrowed into his thoughts. By the third night, he couldn't sleep. Couldn't focus. The door was calling. So he broke the lock. Inside was a tiny room coated in decades of dust. The air was stale, like no one had breathed it in years. There was nothing inside except a single mirror on the far wall. It wasn't fancy. Just a rectangle in a tarnished black frame. Leo stared at his reflection. And for a moment, everything felt off. The room seemed colder than before. His reflection, darker. And then, it smiled. But Leo didn't. His own face grinned back at him. Too wide. Too toothy. Too wrong. He stumbled back, heart pounding. The grin on the reflection only grew. His jaw trembled. "What the hell?" he whispered. Suddenly, the mirror cracked. Just a thin line, right down the middle. Leo turned to run. But something was behind him now. Breathing. He froze. Slowly turned. The room was empty. The mirror, empty. No reflection. But Leo could feel it. Something had stepped through. Something that wore his face. Neighbors reported screaming around 3:12 a.m. But when security arrived, the apartment was silent. Leo was found the next morning, still in the small room. His body twisted. Limbs bent at impossible angles. And his face, stretched into a permanent smile. A grotesque parody of joy. The mirror? Shattered. But only from the inside. The landlord swore the room had been sealed for years. No one had access. No one was supposed to go in. They removed the mirror. Tore down the door. Bricked the wall. But even now, late at night, new tenants say they hear scratching. And if you listen close enough, you can hear laughter. Low. Distorted. Like someone smiling too wide, from the other side. Some reflections don't show who you are. They show what wants to become you.